Have you ever wondered if there was a common solution wherein you can input a JSON string and get an output in a form of a two-dimensional array or a dictionary object for you to consume in Automation Anywhere taskbot? This is exactly the solution which I'm going to be talking about in Fusion's new metabot JSON. Now we all know that most of the web services these days consume a JSON input and outputs in a JSON format. Now all these JSON's output and the input are different from vendor to vendor, from a request to request. Now, therefore, it becomes very important to have some sort of a centralized solution or some sort of a centralized mechanism wherein we can read any given valid JSON string and output it in a two-dimensional array, or in fact a format which is relatively easy for us to consume. Now, in this particular metabot, what we are talking about is accepting a dynamic JSON and process it without knowing the structure of the JSON beforehand. So we have a two-dimensional array, and if you don't like a two-dimensional array or you require a JSON to be output in a flattened structure, you will be presented with an option to use a dictionary object, where in one side we have the key values and then other side we have the values associated with that key. Now for this reason, what we have here is a Fusion Metabot JSON Metabot. So what it does, it has got two primary functions. The first function is to convert a JSON into a two-dimensional array. So what it simply does, accepts a JSON string and gives us an output in a form of a two-dimensional array. And the second logic is to flatten the JSON file. So it accepts the JSON as an input and it converts the JSON string into a dictionary object, and which can be used in your logic. So let me try to explain that with an example. Now these are various different types of JSON. Now you can very quickly appreciate the importance of this logic is that we have, let's say we had these different kind of JSON and we were asked to process them. Now very quickly we realize ourselves with one quick task at hand, how do we go about interpreting this JSON? So this is what this metabot is here to solve. Now what we have got here is a big JSON output from BMC Remedy, and I'm going to input it to the task bot over here, which is JSON string. And now this bot is totally independent of the structure of a JSON. This bot has got no knowledge about JSON structure, so it's going to analyze it at runtime and give you an output either as a two-dimensional array and as a flat JSON structure. So once I run it, we have got the JSON input converted into a two-dimensional array. This is just a message box being represented, so the output is not quite neat as it should be. And if we look into the output file, we can see that the JSON output has been flattened. So if I keep the input and the output file next to each other, you can very quickly appreciate the relevance and the importance it adds here. Now we have got the request ID, and it represents the each key, since it is an array, different types of object, and it is an array. So you will have the different indexes, and that's pretty much what this bot does. I hope you like this video. If you have any comments and um, points to add, please do let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer those questions. Hope you like it. Thank you very much. You all have a wonderful day.